Rachel.
I'm Mary.
I'm Sam.
And today we're going to be talking to you about water pollution. This lesson today will encourage you to take action and be mindful of water pollution in your community and learn how to mitigate pollution in urban environments by teaching you about water pollution and its origins. The takeaways from this lesson will be for you to explain solutions in place to minimize water pollution, identify where you can see solutions to water pollution in your area, and use key terminology that has been defined in this lesson.
Our main objectives of this lesson is that you will list various types of water pollution, including point source and non-point source, and determine where they come from. You will identify the number one source of water pollution and its origins in the state of Pennsylvania. You will build a model of the potential solutions to water pollution using our materials, and you will model the types of water pollution, how they enter a body of fresh water. You will also identify where you can see solutions for water pollution in your everyday lives.
This is for the audiences of age 12 through 15, so around 7th grade. And it'll be ideally a classroom of around 18 people.
Let's get into the lesson.
Now let's learn about water pollution. We're going to go through some key terms in regards to water pollution in this PowerPoint. The first term is sedimentation. Now teachers, you can pause your videos after we ask what the defining term is and have your students guess which is the correct answer, and then we will reveal the correct answer. So, what is sedimentation? The correct answer is A, the settling of solid particles from fluids.
What is pollution? The correct answer is C, the introduction of harmful materials into the environment.
What is a bioswale? The correct answer is A.
What is an Enviroscape model? The correct answer is B, a 3D self-contained mini watershed model.
What is a rain garden? If you guessed C, you're correct.
What is a point source pollution? If you guessed A, you got it right.
What is non-point source pollution? The correct answer is A, pollutants released from a wide area.
What is erosion? If you guessed B, that's the correct answer.
What is a stream table? If you guessed B, you're right.
This is an Enviroscape model, which is a 3D watershed model that is used to represent how a watershed functions and how precipitation and pollution can affect the watershed.
Right now we are in the French Creek watershed. So this means that all of the precipitation in this region washes into French Creek.
This model can show how runoff gets into this body of water, which is the watershed is named after the main body of water, and it illustrates how pollution and different aspects that the precipitation picks up can end up into this body of water and throughout the watershed.
And today we're going to be talking to you about point and non-point source pollution. So today we're going to be talking about point and non-point source pollution. First, point source pollution is a pollution that comes from an easily identifiable source, like a wastewater treatment plant.
Now we're going to talk about non-point source pollution. Non-point source pollution is pollution from a wide range area and not a specific identifiable source. Examples include runoff from a parking lot, which I'll exhibit with food coloring, fertilizer and manure from farms, construction site runoff, and car and automobile pollution from oil.
So now we're going to show you what happens when it rains and why it's so important to know about pollution and reduce it.
So all this runoff is getting washed into the nearby waterways, and then it will eventually end up into this body of water, of which this watershed is named after.
So watch how all that pollution makes its way down to the large body of water. So now we're going to be looking at a more realistic example. This is a stream table which models a watershed. So as you can see, there are animals, they're living in the wild, they're by their stream, they're playing around, and all of a sudden they get bulldozed and they're gone. They're gone. Goodbye animals, goodbye vegetation. And all of a sudden, there's a company that puts a parking lot right next to the stream. So our parking lot is going to be represented with these plastic sheets that Rachel is so nicely laying down. Then here comes the rain. So we're going to see what happens when it rains on this parking lot. So it leads to a faster stream flow, lots of erosion. As we look down, it parted the stream, so now there's two streams, and you can see just how fast that stream flow is going. So now we're going to be using what we call a bioswale, which is going to act like a sponge, and there's going to be vegetation living off of it, and it's going to collect all the pollution, or not all, but it's going to help collect pollution and also slow down the river flow. So more vegetation. More vegetation. So our food coloring, which will be on in just a second, is going to represent pollution like car oil, wastewater, trash, and even the temperature of the water. The temperature of rainwater heats up when it lands on the parking lot because the parking lot is just pavement and it's a lot warmer than the soil. So now they're going to continue putting on more food coloring, aka our pollution. And here comes the rain, and watch as the bioswales try to soak up some of that pollution and slow down the flow of the rainwater. As you can see, there's a lot less erosion and the stream isn't moving as fast. And then here it is without the bioswale. So our pollution without bioswales. And you can see just how much gets into the water, and it even goes alongside the parking lot. And look at all that food coloring that made its way down into our large body of water. Oh no! And you can see just how much pollution got soaked up by our bioswales. A lot.
Do a vocabulary check to end the day. Teachers, ask your students to please put the following 3 words into a phrase with no more than 2 sentences. Rachel, would you be able to put these 3 words into a sentence for me?
Absolutely. Sedimentation is a type of pollution that is caused by erosion.
Very good. Now teachers, do the same with your students. And
We've got a couple options for you to choose from.
now you can ask your students to put point source pollution, non-point source pollution, and stream table into a phrase with no more than 2 sentences. Now, our final vocabulary check. Teachers, ask your students to please put these 3 words into a phrase with no more than 2 sentences. Enviroscape model, bioswales, and rain garden.
Thank you so much for joining us today for our lesson. We hope you learned a lot.
And make sure to show your parents your vocab quiz and also look out for any bioswales in your community.
For more information or more fun lesson plans like this one, go to the website below.
Thank you.